The 1970s were overflowing with soul power, but not every great band became a household name. Some brought the funk with raw fire. Others delivered harmonies that cut straight to the heart, and a few crafted grooves so smooth they still echo through modern R&B. These are 12 underrated 1970s R&B and soul bands you might have forgotten, but absolutely shouldn't. Number 12. Black Ivory, the young kings of Harlem soul. Formed in Harlem in 1969, Black Ivory brought youthful sincerity and silky harmonies into the early 1970s R&B landscape. Signed to Today Records, their breakthrough came in 1971 with Don't Turn Around. The song became a quiet storm favorite, filled with longing, vulnerability, and an emotional honesty that felt real. At the center of it all was Leroy Burgess, whose angelic falsetto gave the group its signature sound. Here's the remarkable part. Burgess was still a teenager when Black Ivory scored their biggest hits. That youth gave their music a rare edge, songs about love and heartbreak sung by voices still learning what love meant. They didn't have Motown's promotional machine behind them, but what they lacked in industry backing, they made up for in authenticity. Picture it, a small, smoky New York club. Lights low, a slow groove drifting through the room. Black Ivory's harmonies floating in the air like a confession, meant for just one person. Though superstardom never arrived, Black Ivory helped lay the foundation for the Quiet Storm movement, influencing the smoother, more intimate side of R&B that followed. Sometimes, the softest voices leave the deepest imprint. Number 11. Creative Source, the Funky Covers Crew. Out of Los Angeles in the early 1970s, Creative Source built their reputation not by chasing originals, but by transforming familiar songs into deep, dance floor-ready soul records. Formed under producer Michael Stokes, the group specialized in reimagining hits with thicker grooves, darker moods, and a raw funk edge DJs couldn't resist. Their defining moment came in 1973 with their rework of Bill Withers' Who Is He? And What Is He to You? Where the original simmered, Creative Source stalked. Heavy bass, extended breakdowns, a groove that lingered long after the needle lifted. In many clubs, their version didn't just compete. It outperformed the original on the dance floor. DJs spun Creative Source records because they moved rooms. Picture a roller rink in 1974. Mirror ball spinning, wheels scraping hardwood. That bass line locking everyone into the same rhythm. Their run was brief, but their impact was lasting. Creative Source proved that interpretation can be revolutionary, and that sometimes the deepest influence comes from artists who knew how to feel a song rather than simply write one. They became cult favorites among crate diggers, soul DJs, and collectors, exactly where true groove legends live. Number 10. The 5 Stairsteps, Chicago's first family of soul. Before the Jackson 5 became global icons, there was the 5 Stairsteps. Formed in Chicago and led by Clarence Burke Jr., the group earned the nickname the first family of soul. Their defining moment arrived in 1970 with O.O.H. Child, a gentle, hopeful anthem released during one of America's most turbulent periods and healing moments today. What many forget is that the Stairsteps didn't stand still. Later in the decade,
Come to my world of fantasy.
they reinvented themselves as the Invisible Man's Band, experimenting with funk and disco as the sound of R&B evolved. Here's a lesser-known detail. George Harrison of the Beatles was a fan and even played guitar on one of their recordings during their Buddha Records era. Number 9. Mandrill, the Fusion Pioneers. Mandrill was a band ahead of its time. Formed in Brooklyn by the Wilson brothers, they created a fearless blend of soul, funk, jazz, Latin, and African rhythms, a sound that didn't fit neatly into any box. Their 1973 track Fence Walk became a funk anthem, driven by blazing horns and relentless percussion. But Mandrill was never just about chart positions. They were architects of texture,
With the Mongo, you might hear home.
building grooves that felt global, physical, and urgent. That creativity came with a cost. Record labels struggled to market them. Were they funk, jazz fusion, psychedelic soul? The answer was yes, and that confused the industry. Still, Mandrill's music refused to fade. Decades later, their catalog became a goldmine for hip-hop producers.
Let's go to
Artists from Public Enemy to Kanye West dug deep into their records, sampling their rhythms and energy. Picture a crowded Brooklyn dance floor in the early 70s. Sweat in the air, congas pounding, horns screaming as Fence Walk locks everyone into motion. Mandrill may not have reached the fame of Earth, Wind, and Fire, but their genre-bending spirit keeps their influence alive in every boundary-pushing groove. Number 8. Faith, Hope, and Charity. The disco soul crossover. Discovered by producer Van McCoy. The mind behind The Hustle. Faith, Hope, and Charity specialized in uplifting harmonies wrapped in dance floor-ready grooves. Their defining moment came in 1975 with To Each His Own. The song blended gospel-rooted vocals with the rising pulse of disco, creating a sound that felt both spiritual and celebratory. What many listeners don't realize is that the group originally formed as a quartet, before later slimming down to a trio. That shift, combined with the rapidly changing disco marketplace, made it difficult for them to break through on the same level as larger, heavily marketed acts. Still, they carved out a loyal following. Their records radiated joy, the kind that filled dance floors without sacrificing soul. Close your eyes and imagine a crowded club in the mid-70s. Lights flashing, bodies moving.
Chicago. What was the first record?
So much love.
So Much Love, right?
A chorus lifting the room in unison. Faith, hope, and charity may not have stayed in the spotlight, but their music remains a reminder that gospel fire and disco shine could merge into something truly magical. Number 7. The Dramatics, Detroit's soul storytellers. Few groups lived up to their name quite like the Dramatics. Formed in Detroit, they brought theater-level emotion to soul music, songs that didn't just play. They unfolded. Their breakthrough came in 1971 with What You See Is What You Get. A year later, they reached new heights with In the Rain, a heartbreak anthem that topped the R&B charts and remains one of the most emotional recordings of the decade. Led by Ron Banks's commanding vocals and later joined by L.J. Reynolds, the Dramatics turned everyday relationship struggles
It may sound crazy, but
into full emotional performances. While Motown dominated Detroit's spotlight, the Dramatics carved their own lane through Stax Records and later ABC Records. Behind the scenes, constant lineup changes threatened to derail the group, yet somehow, each new member added another layer of intensity to their sound. Put on In the Rain today, and you're instantly transported. A rainy Detroit street, headlights glowing, heartbreak hanging heavy in the air.
don't want you to see me cry. Let me go.
Overshadowed by bigger names, the Dramatics still earned a reputation as one of the most passionate vocal groups of the 1970s. Their influence continues to echo through modern soul and neo-soul storytelling. Number 6. Slave. The funk architects out of Dayton, Ohio. A city that quietly produced some of funk's greatest innovators, came Slave. They exploded onto the scene in 1977 with Slide. The record hit like a streetlight flickering on at midnight. Deep bass lines, sharp horns, and a raw, no-frills groove that demanded movement.
Come, baby. I ain't gonna bite you. I just want you to.
Slave's sound was gritty and unpolished in the best way. It felt real, but timing worked against them. They rose during an era dominated by funk giants like Parliament Funkadelic and the Ohio Players, making it hard to break through to mainstream superstardom. Still, Slave was stacked with talent. Their lead singer, Steve Arrington, would later become a funk legend in his own right. But in the late 70s, it was Slave's collective energy that kept dance floors packed.
They call me drag.
Picture a basement party in 1978. The room sweating, bodies moving as one, Slide turning four walls into pure electricity. Slave may not have been a household name, but they laid crucial groundwork for future funk, R&B, and even early hip-hop aesthetics. Their influence lives wherever groove comes first. Number 5. Blue Magic. The Philly Soul Dreamers. Born from the heart of the Philadelphia soul movement, Blue Magic specialized in lush arrangements and slow-burning emotion. Their defining moment arrived in 1974 with Sideshow. Fronted by Ted Mills's soaring falsetto, the song turned heartbreak into theater.
He hurts so bad, so bad.
Using a carnival metaphor to describe love slipping away. Step right up, and suddenly, heartbreak felt cinematic. The production was pure Philly elegance, sweeping strings, gentle rhythm, and vocals that felt both fragile and commanding.
The man who's been crying for a minute.
But timing worked against them. Coming up alongside the Stylistics and Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes meant competition for radio play was fierce.
Saddest little show in all the land.
While Blue Magic scored multiple hits, they were often overshadowed by their label mates and peers. Still, Sideshow became a classic.
Guaranteed to make it right.
A slow dance staple that refuses to age. You can almost picture it. Dim lights, a dance floor filled with couples, the glow of heartbreak wrapped in beauty. Though underrated compared to contemporaries, Blue Magic's influence can be heard in every dramatic, story-driven slow jam that followed.
It's done to those like you and me.
Number 4. Brick, the masters of disco jazz. Overlooking the fact that Brick was made up of highly trained jazz musicians who simply wanted to make people move. Picture a packed Georgia club in the mid-70s. Horns cutting through the air, bass thumping through the floor. Dancers trying, and failing, to keep up with the relentless groove. Though many remember Brick for just one hit, their catalog shows a band unafraid to experiment, blending sophistication with accessibility. Brick embodied the fearless creativity of the 1970s, a decade when genres blurred and innovation ruled the dance floor. DJs still spin their records today because groove never goes out of style. Number 3. The Emotions Harmonies. Straight from Heaven. Before disco crowns and glittering dance floors, the Emotions were rooted firmly in the church. Formed in Chicago by the Hutchinson sisters, the group began as a gospel act, bringing spiritual discipline and emotional precision into soul music. Their early 1970s work with Stax Records produced deeply underrated gems like Show Me How and So I Can Love You. These records showcase their greatest strength, 3 voices moving as one, each harmony soaked in feeling. Their challenge was identity. Were they gospel, traditional soul, disco? The answer was all 3. That versatility later brought massive success with Best of My Love in 1977. Produced by Maurice White of Earth, Wind and Fire, but it also blurred their narrative as an R&B group. Still, listening to the Emotions' early work feels like sunlight breaking through clouds. Their voices carried sincerity, warmth, and uplift, a reminder that in soul music, the sacred and the secular often share the same breath. Their influence lives on in every female vocal group that balances strength with grace. Number 2. Tower of Power. The Horn Kings of Funk. Out of Oakland, California, Tower of Power built their legacy around one unstoppable force. A horn section so tight it could knock the air out of a room. Formed in the late 1960s, they reached their creative peak in the 1970s by blending funk, R&B, and jazz precision.
I knew the time would come
into a sound that was both muscular and sophisticated. Their defining moment came in 1973 with What Is Hip.
Your dreams have all come true.
The song was sharp, relentless, and unapologetic. A groove that challenged listeners while daring them not to move. Yet outside hardcore funk and R&B circles, Tower of Power often gets overlooked. Why? Because their instrumental excellence sometimes overshadowed their identity as a standalone band. Behind the scenes, however, they were everywhere. Tower of Power's horn section backed artists ranging from Santana to Elton John, quietly shaping the sound of the decade without always getting the spotlight. Imagine standing in front of that horn line in 1974, brass exploding in perfect unison, bass locking in, rhythm snapping tight. It wasn't just music, it was impact. Though underappreciated in the mainstream conversation, Tower of Power remains a gold standard in funk musicianship and one of the most respected bands among musicians themselves.
'cause I love you so.
Number 1. The Undisputed Truth. Motown's psychedelic soul visionaries. If Motown had a shadow side, the Undisputed Truth lived there. Created by producer Norman Whitfield, the mastermind behind the Temptations' most radical era.
Don't tell the truth. Smiling faces.
The group was designed to push soul music into darker, more experimental territory. Their defining moment came in 1971 with Smiling Faces Sometimes, a haunting warning disguised as a groove. The song exposed paranoia, betrayal, and the emotional uncertainty of the era.
Smiling faces tell lies. And I got
Smiling faces sometimes pretend to be your friend. Unlike Motown's polished love songs, this record felt uneasy, psychedelic textures,
you can't see behind smiling.
minor key tension, and lyrics that cut uncomfortably close to the truth. That discomfort was the problem. The Undisputed Truth were often treated as a testing ground.
Smiling faces, smiling faces.
Their songs serving as prototypes before Whitfield handed similar ideas to bigger acts like the Temptations. As a result,
Smiling faces tell lies. And I got
they lived permanently in the shadows of the very sound they helped create. But those who saw them live never forgot them. Their stage presence was bold and unconventional.
faces sometimes.
Wild costumes, Afro-futuristic visuals, and performances that felt closer to performance art than standard soul concerts. Listening to Smiling Faces, sometimes in 1971, felt chilling. You could hear the tension of the times wrapped inside a hypnotic groove. Today, the Undisputed Truth are recognized as pioneers of psychedelic soul, with their influence echoing through modern funk, neo-soul, and hip-hop.
Faces, smiling faces sometimes.
They didn't chase comfort, they chased honesty, and that made them unforgettable.